Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the event. My name is Caitlin. I'm from 360, and I will be walking you through the beginning of this event. So let's get started. So this is with 360 Dental and MW Partners. Pravin Gautam will be your presenter for 360 and Albert Gigl for MW Partners. So just some housekeeping before we get started. This is being recorded and it will be in your inboxes soon after the event finishes. So if you have to head out a little earlier or if you were a bit late, all good, you can rewatch it back. Each speaker will be roughly 20 minutes and we will have the Q&A at the end of each presentation or end at the whole presentation. So if you have any questions throughout, make sure you drop them into the chat box at the below on Zoom and we will get to them at the end. Okay, these are anonymous, the questions, so don't worry about anyone else seeing them. And if we don't get through them all, because we probably won't have a lot of time, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and we might be getting through those questions. And you'll have opportunity to scan a QR code at the end if you want to reach out to any of the speakers. Now, let's get into it. First off, let me introduce Albert Gigl. As a chartered accountant based in Melbourne for over 30 years, Albert Gigl established MW Partners in 2005 as a specialist dental accounting firm. Albert and his team of dental specialist accountants handle a wide range of matters that affect dentists on a daily basis, such as taxation strategies, appropriate use of companies and trusts. He enjoys working with motivated dentists and medical specialists who wish to make the most of their professional opportunities by helping them understand the financial side of dentistry. So introducing Albert.
We're beautiful. Okay, thank you very much. Welcome everybody, and thanks for getting up and spending some time with us this morning. I'm going to talk on improving your take-home profits with some specific areas such as best use of your corporate structures. And for those of you that are already in a corporate structure and run your own practice, this will just give you a better overview again. Service and facility agreements, which are very much a hot topic. Bucket companies and the correct use of them and the advantages to having a bucket company attached to your corporate structure. Just finally, I'm going to run quickly through just reviewing your numbers and a bit of benchmarking, because I know everyone's fairly conscious of their costs and everything else at the moment. As with everything financial these days, I've got to have a disclaimer in there. Everything that I'm presenting is general information only. It may not apply to your specific circumstances, so always get professional advice specifically for you. Okay, a company. Okay, this is a legal entity that is allowed under the Corporations Act to conduct a business. It's controlled by the directors. It is owned by the shareholders. Everyone's reasonably familiar with companies. They have limited liability, which is what provides you with that legal protection. They have a tax rate that is generally lower than what would come up under your individual name. So somewhere between 25% and 30%, most likely 25% where you're running a business through the company. Unfortunately, with a company, there's only two ways that you can get money out of the company, because all of the profits and income generated belong to the company. They do not belong to you. So to get money out, you either need to pay yourself a wage or you need to pay a dividend from the profits of the company. If you pay a wage, you will then have a requirement to pay superannuation for yourself and be covered for workers' compensation insurance. If you have the normal ownership structure, so that would be yourself and a spouse equally owning the shares, or possibly just yourself, then there's no flexibility in how the dividends are distributed. If you want to even up the earnings between yourself and a spouse, then unfortunately, if you own the company 50-50, the profits must come out 50-50 by way of dividends. And lastly, the most concerning feature with a company and operating a business through it is that a company does not get the 50% capital gains tax exemption. So once you have finished growing your business over 10 or 20 or maybe even more years, the sale of your business may mean that the company will pay tax on every dollar of profit or capital gain that you make. A trust is something that some of you will be familiar with. Those that are not, it is actually an obligation on the trustee to hold property or business assets or run a business for the benefit of the beneficiaries. Now, the beneficiaries are normally family members and people that are related to the primary beneficiary. The trustee that runs or is in control of the trust can be an individual or a company. And the trust can be discretionary, or what was known as a family trust, or it can be a unit trust or a hybrid trust. The trust is different to a company in that it is flexible as to who gets the profits. So each year the trustee can decide which of the beneficiaries and how much profit goes to each of those beneficiaries. The trustee is liable if anything goes wrong in the trust, and therefore we will generally not use an individual as the trustee. We will put a company in as trustee, and we therefore get the legal protection that's afforded by a company. The trust does not pay any tax at all. The profits are distributed out to individuals, and so the profits are taxed at the relevant rate of the beneficiary. The trust can operate a dental business, or it can own the practice building, or it can own other investments for that matter, or it can do both. One of the problems with the trust is that if you have a loss, or if you had an investment property in a trust, then any losses or negative gearing is trapped in the trust, and you can't distribute a loss to be used by someone else for a tax benefit. But there are ways of injecting profits into the trust that can help absorb those profits. One of the issues that faces a dental business that is often not faced by others is that the type of income that's generated is what's known as personal services income. Okay, this is income that an individual taxpayer earns predominantly as a direct reward for their personal labor and skills. Dental services will always fall into this category. So if you earn the same sort of income through a company or trust and you're a sole trader, it's personal services income, and the type of income does not change where it flows into a company or trust. So what that means is if it flows in, the tax office will require you to have it flow back out and back into your hands so that you don't get the advantage of the 25% tax rate in the company or the ability to distribute the income amongst other family members. The real test as to whether the personal services income rules apply is how much of the income is earned by the company or trust while the dentist is away from the practice. If that amount is a zero, then the personal services income rules apply, and the tax office will say that you've just put a shell around your business and you can't take advantage of using a company or trust. If you can fall into the category where it's a personal services business, which means the tax office views it as though the income is coming from the business structure, i.e. there are other people in the business that are helping you generate dental income, okay, then the test is different. What the tax office will look at is if there is a full-time equivalent of you, So there are at least 2 dentists in there generating income. Then the personal services income rules won't apply. Obviously, the business will generate income while you're away because there's other dentists or hygienists in there earning, and you will then be able to retain profits in the company, or if you're using a trust, you'll be able to split them with other family members. If you can't pass the the full-time equivalent test, then the situation will be that we need to change the nature of the income earned from dental income, personal services income, into general services or management type income. So this is where SFAs to some extent come into play, and that we then need to have the income converted and have the nature of admin or services type income by operating your trust as a service trust. When we run through the legal structures, it's very important to understand that if you are an individual contracting dentist, such that you don't own the business, you're working for someone else, there is no benefit at all in operating through a trust or a company, because you cannot take advantage of either splitting your income or utilizing the company tax rate. Everything must come out. So the PSI will apply and the profit must end up back with the dentist. Okay, just to recap, there's no 50% CGT exemption on sale if you're in a company. You get the benefit of a 25% tax rate. The dividends must be paid to shareholders, but there are some ways that we can manage around that. And the profit that's earned by the company must stay with the company if that's profit that's taxed. You can't take it out to pay off a home loan or to use it in any other method. So otherwise, what's known as the Division 7A rules will apply, and that means you've technically taken a loan from the company because you haven't taken it out as profit, and it needs to be repaid in accordance with those Division 7A loan rules. Okay, in a trust, when we're looking at the structure, if the PSI rules apply, then we need to convert to a service type trust, and then we can distribute to family, and we've got some more flexible options in that if most of our family members are at high tax rates, then we can distribute to a company to take advantage of the 25% tax rate. So that is known as a bucket company, and I'll cover that a bit later on. To run a proper, and again, this is somewhat in line with service and facility agreements, but to run a proper service trust, all the patient fees need to be banked in a separate bank account away from the actual trust. So you need to run 2 bank accounts. One bank account that all the revenue goes into, all the patient fees, and a separate one in the trust that is going to pay wages, pay the expenses, and receive the service fee. So in theory, all of the money goes into the bank account, and then each of the dentists receives 100% of the fees that they generate. Each of those dentists will then pay a reimbursement of the lab fees that were paid by the service trust, and a 60% service fee plus GST to the service trust. So that when the tax office looks at the service trust, it does not see any payment to the contractor. It only sees a service fee coming in. This is the most, I suppose, the most stringent rule that most dental practices don't apply, because they do not either have a second bank account, nor do they pay 100% out to the contracting dentists. They use a net off type payment, whereby they say, look, we owe you $10,000 and you owe us $6,000, and we'll just pay you the net amount of $4,000. If you have the separate bank account, then you can facilitate that arrangement by the way that you split the fees, but it does require some bookkeeping training, if that's the right way to say it, and we can provide that training to your practice manager or to your bookkeeper to make sure that it goes through. The main concern that most dentists have with this arrangement is the fact that it gives the appearance that the dentist owns the patients, or the goodwill is sitting with the actual dentist. However, a properly drafted service and facility agreement will ensure that the patients are technically owned by the surgery, and so is the goodwill, that the dentist is merely coming in to rent the chair. Why do we go with the service and facility agreement? Because the real issue is this: the 40% payment to a contracting dentist is understood in the dental industry to include superannuation. Everyone is aware that 40% includes super, includes any leave entitlements, includes everything. That's the payment that the dentists get. However, this sometimes will fall foul of HR employment law rules, and it certainly falls foul of the superannuation guarantee rules. Under the superannuation guarantee rules, you cannot contract out of your responsibility to pay super where you pay a contractor. Okay, so if you are paying a contractor 40% after labs, then you really should be only paying them 36.2% and then paying 3.8% directly to the super fund of their choosing. If they work for you on a contracting basis, so not on an SFA, and they work more than 90 days, so around about 2 days a week, workers' compensation is required. If your payroll level is above the payroll threshold, then again, if they work for more than 90 days, okay, 2 days a week, payroll tax will apply on those payments. Now, in particular for workers' compensation and payroll tax, this is the reason why all of the corporates go with a service and facility agreement, because they're not considered to be paying a contractor. The contractor is paying them a service fee, and therefore no workers' compensation or payroll tax applies. So the solution is going to a service and facility agreement, which is effectively the dentist renting a chair and you providing all of the services required for them to be able to perform their duties as a dentist and service the clients. You absolutely must make sure that you have a signed legal agreement in place and that you are following the rules that apply under that service and facility agreement that you have in place, so that everyone has a very clear understanding. I'm going to run through this payment arrangement. So payment arrangement is such that payment fees of $11,200 less $1,200 in labs gives you $10,000. Your normal payment to the dentist would be 40%, $4,000. You would pay GST. They would charge you GST. They would provide the surgery with an invoice, or the surgery would provide what's known as a recipient created tax invoice. So GST would apply, $4,400. When the dentist does their business activity statement, they will then pay the GST to the tax office, and they will be left with a net $4,000, which is the correct amount, in their pocket. Under an SFA, or what we previously called a gross up method, same situation, 11,200. The lab fees would be reimbursed to the surgery because the surgery's paid them, and $10,000 would be paid to the dentist because that is their patient fees. It's merely been collected by the surgery on their behalf. The surgery would then raise a service fee invoice for $6,000. It would charge GST, and $6,600 would be repaid by the dentist, leaving the dentist with a net amount of $3,400. When they do their business activity statement, since they have paid this dental surgery $600 in GST, they're entitled to a refund. They get the refund from the tax office and they're back in the same net position under both methods. So both end up with the same result. It's just the method of payment. Bucket companies. These are named because they act like a bucket to catch the excess profits that if they went to other individuals in the family, they would also attract a high tax rate. The company is technically a beneficiary of the service trust. The trust deeds that we prepare for our clients all allow for other companies or other trusts to be beneficiaries of that trust, provided one of the individual beneficiaries is a director or trustee of the other entity. So if we can get it to the company, we can get the distribution to that company taxed at 25%. The distribution must be physically paid to the company. It can't be an allocation. The dollars must flow across to the company. You can then use that cash received for further investment in that company, property, shares, or you can purchase dental equipment and rent it back to the dental surgery. If the distribution's not paid, then that Division 7A loan is created, and that loan must be repaid over 7 years, and the interest is at ATO rates. You don't get to choose. Currently, it's 4.77%. The real killer in this is the interest that is paid by you to your bucket company is not tax deductible, and the interest received by the bucket company is taxable. So you get a bit of a hit if you're not putting the dollars into the bucket company when you distribute. The shares in the bucket company should be owned by a family trust, and that will allow some flexibility in the distribution of profits. Somewhere down the track, if we can find an individual that has no taxable income, perhaps you've already retired from your business, then there's the ability to pay up to $75,000 as a fully franked dividend with no tax to pay because the franking credit will cover it. Just rounding off and finishing, where you look at your financial statements, your major expense every single time when you cut up the pie is 40% is going to go off to the dentists that are doing the work. The support staff, your payroll, is going to be around about 20%. So between your dental contractors and your staff, 60% is about the target mark, but it's an area that's very, very difficult to control, and it's going to go out the door. Your lab and dental supplies, which have also to some extent taken a hit, they've had an increase over the last year or two, should usually equate to about 15% of your revenue, and then comes rent and overhead. So there's 5% roughly across the board there. So overall, 80% of your expenses are almost beyond your control. It's only the other expenses that you can look at to determine where you could trim back a bit or where you could spend your money more wisely. With respect to payroll now, everyone is having issues or problems in finding staff, getting DAs, getting dental nurses on board. The pay rates are going up. One of your considerations, and this is your tip, is concentrate on retaining the staff. Potentially consider not a wage increase, but a bonus. So to pay a bonus or to guarantee a bonus of $1,000, where the business runs successfully and they're working there for 3 months. At the end of 3 months, they get $1,000 bonus. At the end of the next 3 months, there's another $1,000 bonus. So there's an incentive for them, A, to work as part of the team, and B, to stay there because they won't get the bonus unless they complete that 3 months with you. You can spread it out with different dollar amounts or with different time periods to suit what's going on. But it's something that's really important now. It's to retain the staff and not to escalate what their pay rate is, but do it by way of a bonus. The bonus would be taxable, so you would need to withhold tax on it, and it would go through on the normal pay system. That rounds off what I've said. Questions will need to be held over until the end. That barcode that's there, you can snap it quickly now, but it'll also appear on the end slide. I'm certainly available for a further consultation if there's particular issues that relate specifically to you and you're not too sure how what I've said may apply. Absolutely get in touch, and I'm certainly happy to help. I'll get back to everywhere else, and I've stopped sharing, I think.
Great. Thank you so much, Albert. That was wonderful, very insightful. I can see all the questions coming through. They will happen at the end, like Albert said, so keep setting them through as it goes. Again, if we don't get to your question at the end, make sure you're following us on our socials, and we'll do a little Q&A session over there as well. So let's just move on to our next speaker. Introducing Prabin Gautam. So Prabin is the head of Australia's trusted full-service dental marketing agency, 360 Dental Marketing. He is also a CBD lecturer at ADAVB and believes in creating opportunities for his clients, alliances, and team members. Over the past 15 years, he and his dedicated team have been helping dental practice owners in Australia build their businesses and personal brands. 360 generates quality appointments for both high-end and low-end dental services. These days, we've even been helping dental practice owners recruit the right talent during the nationwide staffing shortage. To sum up, making practice owners' lives easy with more profits and less stress. Pravin, if you would please take the hot seat.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you so much. All right. I see a number of participants is growing, and it's so good to come up here and obviously add value to our communities and clients. And so mainly in this short time, next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll be sharing about more on the growth side, 7 stages, 7 ideas to grow your dental practice, which is working right now, because obviously things have changed dramatically. And we believe, it needs to be up to date in everything, in your branding, in your collaterals, as well as in your marketing. So let's get into it. Now, before we jump on to the 7 ideas, also, I thought probably quickly share about something which we believe on in the last 15 years, working with different dental practice, dental business owners, just like you. This practice model, which is all about 5 Ps, which we refer as. So level 1, as you can see here, level 1 is a painful. Now you would be curious to know what does that mean. So they are the dentist, not just the dental business people. They're not running a business. They enjoy dentistry. Don't get me wrong. They fully enjoy dentistry, but it's very painful, which also means even I was talking last week only to one of the dentists in Sydney, and he was saying, oh, look, Praveen, it's been about 2 years, but I feel that I'm not the owner of the practice. I am the victim of it. So, if you are the victim of the business, which means you have no time, no patience, no goals. And on top of that, I would like to add, if your business, if the dental business should support your life, not consume your life. So I hope that gives you a bit of idea. But next level up, which is possible. So you are doing everything possibly you can. So you realize the possibility of your team, time and investment, how important are they? And you may feel you might be running or running around, but you are doing everything possibly you can. And third level up is potential, where when you realize the potential, your business grows a bit and you realize some of it, and you also realize the importance of your team around you, clear process, clear goals and structures. And that's where most likely the clients we work with, they are in the different levels from level 3 up. Now, level 4 is productive, becoming productive. Obviously, they have a different ways, whether that may be building, selling the business, or adding more chairs, if you like, or that might be, grow your business, grow your practice to the next level where you can easily expand to couple of kilometers, or that might be multiple practice in different locations. So that is mainly about productive. Now, level 5, which is my favorite, and a lot of our clients would, they would aspire to become that. So the difference here in level 5 is they understand about the competitors, who are the competitors around the local area. They're very clear about, point of difference. I always share in my masterclass why your practice, why you as a top level, principal dentist, and why this treatment. So that's why your patients, whoever is checking your websites or your branding, they want to know more about why. So in a nutshell, it's all about why your practice, why this treatment. And that's where, the 5 Ps. So the key questions for you to figure out, which level are you in, my friends? So let's, without delay, let's get into it. Now, also before we go up, many times when I do the presentation, people, the community's members or a lot of the so-called future clients would ask, what do then 360 do? So probably our values is start with small of the service as a service provider, provide you whatever it might be, whether that may be your websites, branding, and make sure that it is reliable and consistent, and obviously provides you the results. So in that KPIs, we put a clear KPIs as a 90 days. After that, then only we would be doing the full service, which is done for you, our exclusive package, which also means we don't work with any competitors of yours. And obviously a sort of tailor package, because we believe, it's not, there's so many cookie cutters approach, but we believe creating the tailor package for our clients and understanding the need is important, because guess what? Every practice is different, every practice owner is different, and every practice where it is located is different. So understanding that and creating that tailored package is what we do at 360. And obviously becoming as your trusted dental growth partner, which means adding more chairs, whether that may be scale or selling the practice or maximizing it, or that might be through any issues you are facing right now, whether that may be hiring staff, finding the right dentist, lead dentist, hygienist, XYZ, whatever the issues is, then we are committed to help you wherever we can. So that's a little bit about us, but let's get straight to the 7 ideas. I hope you guys are, if you have a pen handy there, feel free to write the notes. And also, as Caitlin mentioned, we'd be happy to share the recording as well. So no problem. All right, so in the top 7 ideas, let's start with first is website optimization. So what does that all mean? As you know, website is so important, and I'm not here to drag it, why it is important. It is important, but let me tell you, more than a website, the mobile friendly website is more important, and that's where we are seeing right now. Now, you might be thinking, yes, my website is mobile friendly. So why it is? So the problem, what we are seeing, a majority problem over 85% of the websites, and you can fire up your website right now and have a look. So when you check that website on your mobile, so many issues we see it, and even some of our new clients members who joins and they like to start the marketing, but we see the biggest issues on the website, like the videos is too slow. If you have a video, the image on the website is, it takes raw image, it's not cropped image, so it's so hard to load. And especially if you are a dental practice owner who has interest or who have been for over 7 to 10 years in dentistry, and you're more focused on cosmetic aligners or implants, and when you go to those pages, imagine some of the patients are going to the page and even though your photos doesn't load and not framing in the mobile. So the key here is everything what you present on the website need to be clearly focused on mobile. As you can see from the screen is the phone number, book now, locations, hours has been so important. So make sure the website is well optimized, right? Now, other things on that factor is speed, comes to speed. And again, there's so many, we will invest, as I can see that the dental practice owners invest so much on their collaterals on their website. But when you look the website speed, and you can do it very easily as well these days, just hit website check, live check, and Google will come up with the bot, and you can easily check the speed. So the website speed need to be very well. In fact, it's like in the world of instant gratifications these days, people want fast results. So if imagine if your website is painfully so slow to load, what's going to happen? And the plenty of options for them to just exit in 3 seconds. Yes, my friend, it's just 3 seconds. Your patients will just go out or they may feel, oh, this is not relevant. There's just so much clutters. The whole idea, if they are looking on high-end treatments like, cosmetics or implants or of some of your high-end treatment pages, and they see that there is not much information, which means there is no right information to a right patients to a right time, it's not serving, then probably the bounce rate will go very, very high. So that's something for you to consider, website speed. Now let's jump to the point 2. Google My Business. So after the website, second thing is is Google My Business. And I would always, I'm not here to talk about why Google Business, because I'm sure you all, the dental practice owner, you all realize the importance of Google and reviews. But how we like to think is it's like, yes, you have a physical dental practice, but this is a sort of, we feel, we think like an online practice. Imagine if your online physical practice, right, wherever you put a great fit outs there, and imagine if the fit out practice have a clutter, no good signage, it's not hygienic, the reception desk is not that welcoming. Guess what will happen? Exactly. So patients won't visit, simple as that. So that's why this is a very much like, online practice where your patients can see and visit. And especially last 18 months, we have seen exponentially growth in Google My Business or Google profile, or some of them, they like to say Google business listing. So it's very powerful, and it goes hand in hand with the website SEO performance. And when we work with our clients, we make it very clear, as you can see in my screen. Different, the GMB or Google My Business leads coming from Google My Business is getting higher and higher, even more compared to the website. Yes, website is great. People are typing the keywords, but moreover, whenever they are typing dentist near me or any service or treatments near me, your Google My Business comes up. So we got to really make it optimize, make it up to date. And that's what we do at 360. We report to the clients every week. How is that performing? And guess what? So many times we can clearly show the results. Now, if you would see how would that look like, and then probably there is a call button, there is direct message on the mobile. That's also these days we can integrate. So your patients are browsing, they can quickly see what's your Google My Business, they can quickly link. But the key here is to also tidy up those things and making sure that your appointments now, this has been new features last couple of months, and now they can also book the appointment directly from Google My Business to whichever the platform you are using. right? So whether that may be Dental for Windows, Exact, or any other practice management software. So my point here is to don't ignore that Google My Business, which is which builds which builds more appointments, more credibility for you. Now, third points on hand in hand is reviews. I'm sure you would all know why reviews is important. Obviously, 84% of Australian consumers right now, they are engaging with local practice, or they are influenced by reviews before they visit the new practice. So that's something for you to consider. Obviously, reviews build the trust. And also, many times I've been asked, especially in different workshops, people say, oh, we have got about probably 130 reviews, 400 reviews, or that might be just coming to 100 reviews. Yes, the numbers are good. Quality is good, quantity is good, but also focus on the quality of the reviews, which means using the right keywords. So that can also help you to boost your SEO. So it's not like getting the dentist, you are the best here, but really using those keywords like best dentist in locations. I really get that done, this sort of treatment done in here. They are the best dentist in wherever the location. So using those keywords is a key in the review. So what I'm saying, it's not just about quantity of the review, but quality of the review is important. And that's how it gets very, very quickly found, especially when patients are typing about, high-end treatments, right? Because guess what, all are shopping around. So review is so critical to get it right. And there are simple strategy, and I'm not here to suggest any of the systems or which you are using, but the philosophy, what we believe is on even like, QR code can be easily displayed on your reception desk or even in your associate or your room, so that patients can easily, the key here is to easy so that they can quickly get that QR code and get the reviews. So making it very easy for them. And also I was talking with one of the dentists a couple of months ago, and we have even seen some dentists losing potential all-in-4 patients because of just seeing the bad reviews out of so many good reviews, and they just make the mind. So now you can think the power of reviews, how important. And obviously, yes, sometimes there might be some negative reviews, but getting that, making it clear or addressing is important. I hope that gives you a bit of idea about the reviews. Now let's get to the fourth point, which is invest in your collaterals. I know with the experience of working with dentists, they all need new patients. Probably we want a new patients quick, fast, quality patients. We all want a cosmetic, implants, veneers, XYZ. And when you look on the content or your websites or your collaterals like before, after, or your videos, that doesn't really tell much. And what you are assuming is like, you are looking for the high-end treatment, but really not investing in collateral. So the key here is to invest on the collaterals is important. So that builds a trust for the audience and stick out from the crowd. And also it's, gone where those days, which I will show you on the next slide, is, you use so much stock photos 5, 7, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, at least, you may can use it. But now, your audience or patients who are checking these are very influential. They are checking, everything. They are checking not only your dental practice site, but also some of your competitors. So making sure that you stand out there, your face, your clinic, and showcasing your work is important, especially if you are looking at high-end treatments, right? It's the most important. So this is a little bit, so pretty much showing all the screens. Now, I'm sure you would have seen this guy is everywhere, and check out even on your website, social media, this same stock photos. My point is the same stock image can be used everywhere. And these are some of the clients, but hey, look, if you really want to be a premium high-level cosmetic dentist, then the whole idea is you need to work around not just building amazing practice, which is fantastic. We spend so much on fit outs and other things, which is great. But at the same time, investing in your collateral, investing in online collaterals is as much important. That's where we are seeing. So which means your website, your logo, your brand colors, your website content, and which I will show you about the quick packages, different packages, especially if you're doing high-end or cosmetic, any aligners. So making sure that right informations to a right patients at a right time is there. So anyway, I will also go more deeper in the Brisbane, in the convention. I've just logged in a couple of days ago. I will be speaking and presenting on Brisbane, and definitely how to get more cosmetic or implants or aligners. So if you're coming to Brisbane Saturday, I'm presenting, so feel free to jump in. We will discuss more about high-end as well. So that's about it, but this is sort of the package what we are doing for our clients, different package. This is just an example for the veneers, but my point is making sure that it is very easy to buy, so when your patients are visiting it, they can see very clearly all the packages. So the fifth one is search engine optimization. I'm sure many of you know the value of search engine, but only things if I can add is go beyond your suburbs, because sometimes just focusing just only one suburbs is not good enough, or just one area. So go with them, start with one, but go with 2, 3, 4. So go beyond your suburbs is also, or if someone is doing your marketing, probably ask that as well, add more locations, at least 15, 20K, 25K radius, right? So the second point, which is quite interesting actually, and I've been seeing quite a lot of the websites, and even yesterday I was dealing with, same, don't want to mention anyone's name here. It's a small world, but my point is duplicating same websites, 3, 4, 5, even 25 same website, which is absolutely no. So we have to, what we got to do is create a unique content for your website, because you are not the same like them and your practice is not same. So we got to avoid that duplicate content, and that's why no wonder SEO doesn't work, because they have literally no investment on the content, no investment on the collaterals, and they say, okay, my SEO is not working, what's going on? So, and when we put it in our systems, we see that the same website, same content has been copied, not only 3, 4, 5, but that has been copied over 20, 25, 30 sites. So be aware of those. And there's a very easy, reach out to me if you want to find out as well how to check it. You can easily check it as well. Now, also this applies on the ads. Some of the companies, again, I don't want to mention here anyone, but some of the companies, they're also doing some Facebook ads. And what we are seeing is Facebook is now being, the algorithm is now being very, very tactical. Not only that, couple of prospects have also lose their own pages, or they have put on a hold because of the advertising policy. So be aware of that, not copy and pasting others before, after, not copy and pasting those contents. So just making sure that it is because, guess what, your patients are researching more than, if they are investing, or they want to fix the high end. If they are coming for high end, then obviously they are doing a research. So make sure that all is done well. So third point is obviously iceberg. So SEO involves a lot of background, and when you deal with a lot of marketing companies, they say, oh, we are doing SEO, but not sure what they are doing. And we have been seeing a lot of clients as well, even 3 months, 5 months, there is no any activities in the website. So what does that also means? I understand dentists like you don't understand as much SEO like the SEO expert, but point is, if they are doing right work, then you could see the results. It's not in a week, but obviously in a month or 2 months or 3 months, at least there should be activities on your website. So probably I hope that gives you a bit of clarity on search engine. Now the next point is social media. Social media is critical, and again, there's so many channels out there, but make sure the videos, especially reels in Instagram or Facebook, is critical. Now also, there's a lot of clients reach out to us and look, Praveen, my Facebook and Instagram ads are not converting. What magic can you guys do? And we can see very clearly there might be different reason, but I have added a couple of reasons. The first one is wrong platform, absolutely wrong. So whoever is running the ads, they have no idea about dentistry. They have no idea about the patient journey. Wrong platform. Second is no compelling reason. Also on the wrong platform, if I can add here, so emergency ad won't convert in Facebook, right? It would better go on Google Ads. So those sort of issues, and obviously compelling reasons. There's no compelling, which means no offer, no social evidence, heavily stock photos, just the stock photos everywhere. And no wonder how much you put, like, $100, $200 a day, it doesn't still convert. So because they haven't invested in the collateral. So that's critical. Third one is obviously leaving your audience guess what to do. There is no clear call to action button, or there might be very difficult for them to book their appointment, or there might be too many layers, as we touched on. If the website is 3 or 5 seconds, your patients will just lose the interest and they go out, and that means too many layers equals to too many barriers. So these are some top possible reasons. But what we have also known is, when you are putting up the offers, especially some of the high-end treatments like veneers or clear aligners like Invisalign or Sure Smiles or implants, make sure they're very enticing offers. So that doesn't always, you have to deduct the price. I'm not saying that, but what I'm trying to saying is find out how you can be a creative, like payment options. This, like, as you can see here, same day results. Okay, or that might be this dollar per week, whatever it might be, make sure that it is enticing one. The second one is real patients and real results. Just be careful that, again, Facebook ads policy do not easily approve. So make sure that you have got a real patients, take the consent and give them the experience about whatever the experience, and make sure that it shows very clearly that they are not just choosing another Mickey Mouse dentist here. So when you are positioning that, so you got to put the results they want to see your showcase. All right. So the third one is all about the timing matters, because in different timings, instead of the same time, like children dental offer can only go on school holidays, mouth guards can be going on foodie seasons. Obviously now December is approaching, use it, lose it, or that might be new year, new me, whatever the theme you want to use. But my point here is timing matters on all the ads, all your campaigns, marketing campaigns. So I hope that's give you a bit of insight. The last one is Google Ads, and so many times, especially the new clients who comes on board, they say, "Oh, Praveen, we invest so much in Google Ads, but it's not really coming, or we don't know where it is, because the ads is coming, and we see very clearly that." And what we implement to our clients is like patients. Obviously, patients need to know about the service, cost, hours, appointment, or whether that may be same day, it goes to your front desk, who will take that call. From the front desk, what we see from other agencies or other marketing is they're not communicating with the front desk as much as they should. So, and that's where, the responsibility of your marketing team is to reach out to your front desk to get insight, what's happening, what's the feedback of patients, how much are they saying, what happened to this, hear more about, did they book this 30K veneers, what they're supposed to come, or they're about to do, what about after hours? All those feedback need to feed up from front office to marketing persons, or whoever is doing your marketing. And from that marketing, it goes to your practice owner, telling, giving them 100% clarity and transparency. So I'll repeat this, clarity and transparency is so important, because guess what? It is a team effort. It's not just from the marketing team, it's everyone in the team is equally important to make it right, because generating leads is one thing, but converting is another thing. So making sure that having the transparency and clarity is critical. And then after that, creating the strategy, whatever the strategy is. So my point here is to get the knowledge, whatever the feedback, and then use the strategy, which is equals to results. So that's what we do for our clients running the Google Ads. And obviously, this is the blueprint which we apply, whether that may be fixing your online collaterals or online branding. So I hope that's give you, I'm conscious with the time. So on that, obviously, we touched on website optimization, Google My Business, which is a prime real estate for your business. This is, and Google reviews is as important. Invest in your collaterals. Again, I'll repeat it, invest in your collaterals, whether websites, good website, branding, photos, videos is the key. And search engine, we touched on about what's working there in the search engine, what are the questions you can go back to ask to your marketing team. And sixth, we talked about social media like videos and reels we touched on, and Google Ads. Why Google Ads? What are the communications way which we are implementing for our clients? So I hope that has been a bit of value to you today, and look forward to seeing you in convention in the Brisbane, where I will be talking about how to get more cosmetic patients, implants, and aligners in just 90 days. So if you're attending, we'll look forward to seeing you there. Until now, we will jump on the question side. Albert. let's start with one. The first one is, can I distribute profits from my bucket company or my service trust to family who live overseas?
Yeah, look, and this comes on the back. There was another one earlier regarding can we save some tax? While you've been busy talking, Pravin, I've been busy answering a few of the ones that have come through on the chat already. So the answer is yes, you can distribute profits from your bucket company or your service trust to family who live overseas. Okay, the situation will be that you will have withholding tax requirements where they go overseas. So if you want to reduce the amount of withholding tax that is on those distributions, the overseas person must have a non-resident Australian tax file number. So they can live overseas, they don't have to be an Australian resident, but they should have an Australian non-resident tax file number, and that will reduce the amount of withholding tax. Because obviously most of the countries around the world we've got a double tax treaty with. So those distributions will in fact get reported overseas, and the people receiving them overseas will generally need to pay tax at whatever their relevant tax rate is, subject to whatever the withholding has been as it gets transferred. So yes, we do have a number of clients that do distribute to family overseas, but generally the dollar differential it is often not significant enough to make it worthwhile. So given that you could distribute to your bucket company and only pay 25% tax, then if you could distribute, and let's say $100,000, if you could get $100,000 to your bucket company, only pay $25,000 in tax, compared with to someone overseas where, I don't know, if they were at a tax rate of maybe 20%, well, then the saving would be $5,000 on a $100,000 distribution. Now, I'm not scoffing at saving $5,000, which would be pretty good. But for the issues of transferring and doing all of that, is that something that you want to be involved with, or would you rather just keep it under your control in your bucket company in Australia? Now, everyone's circumstances are different, and there may be some very valid reasons for distributing overseas, particularly for supporting family and or friends that are overseas. Then yes, distribution over there is certainly possible. The other one is, can I distribute profits to my children? Absolutely, but the situation in Australia is that the children are subject to a maximum distribution that's tax-free of $416, but then they go on to a penalty rate of tax which essentially is higher than highest marginal rate. So for kids under 18, it's $416 or less.
Hi, this is Pravin Gautam. First of all, thank you so much for attending our live event this morning. I hope that's been value to you. We touched on about improve your take-home profits and make the most out of your dental marketing. We shared about the inside Albert, who is a dental specialist, specialist dental accountant, where he touched on about SFA's work and what should you do with your contractors, and those sort of things. And also he touched on about the bucket companies and the number of some tips and insights. But if you want to really find out more, please jump onto mwpartners.com.au. There's a free book consultation, and definitely any other questions, feel free to reach out to Albert. And from my side, I have, thank you for the feedback. I hope that has been a value to you about the new ways, what's working in dental marketing right now. We touched on about 7 top tips, which is including your website, how the website need to be friendly, and also we touched on about Google Business Profile, which is Google listing, how important the Google listings, including your reviews and SEO performance for your website, and also about the social media, what's working right now, and especially if you are focusing on a high-end practices or high-end treatments like cosmetic aligners, implants, then the invest on the collaterals or invest in your videos or photos or websites. So I hope that's been clear to you. But hey, look, reach out to us, and I've also dropped down the link below about the consultation. So reach out to me if there's anything we can be of value. But unless again, we'll see you. Look forward to seeing you in the future events. Take care. Bye for now.